Good morning, everybody. It's 9... No, it isn't 9:37. That's a photograph. It's... What time is it? 12:53 a.m. in Jerusalem. So it's 9:53 a.m. here in Tasmania on the 4th. So we've passed both sunset in Israel and midnight. So we're definitely in the 4th. Now, I was watching, looking up, and I just want to make mention of a comment I left on their channel. I'll read it out. Hi, system. My actual watch date is 84 hours or 3.5 days from the 30th. This could in reality mean December 4th, given sunset versus midnight could mean the day that starts at midnight or sunset. It's December 4th now in Israel, as I just mentioned, also here in Australia. The time I'm actually watching is 12 hours after sunset in Israel yesterday. So the actual time I was looking at was sunset last night and then 12 hours on top of that to give us 84. Now, sunset at around 4:36 p.m. yesterday, so I'm actually looking at 4:36 a.m. today. I haven't checked, but what time was the stone rolled from Jesus' tomb? Was it 4:36 a.m.? Now, I just typed that in the comments, and I haven't actually got to my Bible to check, and I'm not even sure if we know the actual time, but I just in the back of my mind remember it being early hours of the morning, because of the people that discovered the tomb had gone down there early, so it must have happened before sunrise, something like that. I could be wrong. Anyone who wants to comment to correct me there, feel free. But so what I'm actually looking at is 4:36 a.m. in Israel, and as you can see, it's 12:55 a.m. now. So that's not very far off. It's under 4 hours. That's my actual highest watch period. Post that, I mean, I default to channels like Cool Cat and Repo Man simply because I haven't studied it out any further. I haven't looked into Haggai and Habakkuk and all those books. I've just stayed in Ezra. Found enough nuggets in there. But we definitely know that we're in the time, in the season. You just have a look at the earthquakes recently. Massive amount of them. We've got a huge coronal hole facing Earth. Has been for 48 hours. It takes a couple of days for those sorts of effects to hit us. That's why we're seeing the increase in earthquakes now, but it will accumulate. The energy coming in will be more than what's released in the earthquake, so they'll progressively get bigger and bigger and bigger. We could see some volcanic activity as magma heats up. Not to mention that we've had quite a few CMEs fire our way as well. So when you have a coronal hole that big facing Earth for that long, and it's direct facing, combined with CMEs, we're going to see some big events over the next few days, I believe. We also have all the COP28 stuff. If you have a look at Aaron over at Got a Minute, he's done some interviews and research on that recently, and there are some incredible alignments there with King Charles. There was that book put out called The Antichrist and a Cup of Tea. I can't remember the author. The name Cohen comes to mind, but I could be wrong. And that sort of aligned or linked King Charles with a possible Antichrist. That's all speculation, but at this very time, when we're seeing such an increase in wars, a US ship has just been attacked recently in the Red Sea, and so have some civilian ships. That's been reported by the British media and other media sources. So we see all this military build-up still, mass amount of solar activity leading to the earthquakes and volcanic activity. We have crazy signs in the sky. We've seen all the Virgo stuff, but we have all the UFO sightings still going on and meteorites and all sorts of stuff happening. crazy atmospheric anomalies. If you have a look at Mr. MBB333.com, I don't think he's a Christian, but he's reporting heavily on some of the things that are being seen, and it's pretty bizarre. It's undeniable, this increase over the last couple of years. Be it deception, be it whatever, it is actually happening. So remember, keep looking up. I'm actually looking at 4:36 a.m. in Israel this morning. I'm wondering if that was the time the stone was rolled from Jesus' tomb, figuratively, meaning 3.5 days. I don't mean the actual day. We're in Kislev. So anyone who can enlighten me on that, that'd be great. But remember, at the end of the day, we're going very, very soon. It is by the blood of Jesus that we're saved, and by his works we cannot add anything to the salvation equation. Our works mean nothing. They're but filthy rags before the Lord. And remember, our life of sin was forgiven. So it was past, present, and future. So all sins forgiven. So your works from then on, good or bad, aren't going to get you into heaven or keep you out of heaven. Your bad works are already forgiven, and your good works are but filthy rags. So we default to Jesus every time. He was the only perfect person, the only person whose sacrifice was presentable to our Father for atonement. And therefore, the only way we can get into heaven, the only way we can receive atonement is through what Jesus did, because our works are dirty from the start. So give it all to Jesus, guys. It's so important at the moment. Remember, he threw a life rope out to us. Just because we hung onto that rope didn't save us. It was Jesus' works that save us. Us hanging onto that life rope is the fruits that we manifest during our Christian life. But they're not works of salvation. So God bless. Keep looking up, guys. It could be any moment.